Good morning, class 10 boys and girls. Today I will be explaining to you a portion of the poem Animals by Walt Whitman. Now in this poem animals and human beings both are living creatures created by the creator of the universe, that is the Almighty. In this poem, actually, the poet makes out a contrast, draws a contrast between animals and human beings. Poet draws out a contrast between animals and human beings. He brings out a contrast. According to the poet is telling us that animals are also living in their natural conditions in this nature, earth, and we human beings are also living with them simultaneously. But he expresses in this poem, I'll give you a brief nutshell to you, in a brief nutshell this poem. He makes out a contrasting difference between animals and human beings and tells us in this poem that animals are far better. They possess more credibility, more qualities than the human beings possess nowadays. The poet also regrets here that in ancient times, our ancestors perhaps used to possess the qualities which the animals possess now, still now, but we human beings have forgotten all those qualities. That means qualities which the animals possess are calmness, lack of greed. They are highly satisfied and contented and easygoing nature. They are not selfish. But we human beings, the characteristics of human beings is that nowadays we all have this quality of greed, selfishness, jealousy, and another great quality we still possess, negative quality, is that we human beings are never satisfied with what we have. We are never contented. We are never happy. We are always a discontented lot. Because our desires and cravings, everyday life, it goes up. We want to have more, we crave more, we become more ambitious. Now this is a poem I draw this. The animals, they don't create any sins, so they don't have to worship before any god, and neither they bow their heads to anyone. They respect each other. Neither they worship God nor any ancestors of their or predecessors, but we humans still indulge in these activities because we commit sins. So let's move on to this poem, class 10. See the first stanza. I'll read. I think I could turn and live with animals they are. The poet here expresses his wish that he wants to be an animal, not a human being, and he wants to live with animals amongst them. So placid and self-contained. They are always happy. They are always contented. They are always satisfied. They have got no cravings for any materialistic things. Nothing. But we human beings are always a dissatisfied lot. We never are happy because our cravings and desires grows every moment. I stand and look at them long. The poet tells us, he looks at the animals, he stares at the animals for a lengthy period of time because he wanted to be one of them. He wanted to be an animal, he wanted to live with them. See the second stanza. They do not sweat and whine about their conditions. They do not sweat and whine about their conditions, the poet is telling. The poet is very much impressed with this behavior and attitude of the animals. They do not cry, they do not wail, because they are always happy. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. These animals are always peaceful, they are living peacefully amongst them. They don't commit any sins. So they have no necessity to think about and worry. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Since they don't make any sins, they do not worship God. There is no need to worship God. They are a peaceful lot, easygoing nature. They don't bow their heads before God. They do not worship God, but we humans worship God. We bow our heads before God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with. All the animals are a very satisfied lot. They do not have God craving. They do not have any cravings for materialistic things, because materialistic things are immaterial to them. The mania of owning things, not one means to another, nor to its kind that. Animals, they don't have the habit of praying. Animals don't have the habit of bowing their heads before anyone, either an individual or one of their own kind. They don't bow their heads. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Poet is telling us in this line, they are so pure, full of purity, that there is no question of them asking forgiveness from God. They are fully pure, purity of mind, they are pure and peacefully. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things, not one needs to another, not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. The animals are always happy and are not complaining. We human beings are just the opposite nature. We are unhappy and always we complain. We are of this nature. They bring me token of myself, the evince. The poet is expressing that the animals somehow, they represent the nature of human beings, them plainly in their possession. Now here, in this line, the tokens. They bring me tokens of myself, that means. Here the tokens, the poet wants to express, the tokens means the virtues which the animal possess, kindness and innocence. These two qualities are still prevalent amongst animals, but somehow in modern day world, we human beings lack these two qualities, these virtues. These virtues are expressed by the poet in this poem as tokens. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass the way huge times ago and negligently drop them? The poet mentions to us about the lost, what human values have lost. These qualities, the virtues, good virtues. Now we are full of negativity. This positivity, but animals, they are still innocent now. They are still a very friendly lot, a very peaceful and very easygoing nature. And so the poet wants to be one of them.